All right, real quick before we get started. First off, thank you guys for tuning in each episode to entertain my mind and all the thoughts that go through it, as well as my perspectives on many different things that come about in our world today that I like to give shed light on. But definitely, if you guys want to do me a favor, do me a real solid favor before we get to the show. Yeah, we get you to just leave a comment on iTunes. If you're logged in through iTunes, just go into iTunes and leave a comment and rating for the show. It definitely helps generate the buzz and the algorithm for the show, as well as YouTube. Definitely, like, while you guys are watching on YouTube, be sure to hit like and make sure you comment and subscribe, definitely, and share with whoever that's into this type of talk, the talk that we do on Ask Rome. And what else? You obviously follow on TikTok, follow on Instagram, follow on Snapchat, follow on the Facebook page for the show. And lastly, I want to give a special shout out to my girl V on her new podcast. I just recently had V on my podcast that we did together. Be sure to check that one out. But yeah, check out V's new podcast, Let's Hablar with V, talking about random things, you know what I'm saying, that goes on with her and her friends, and you know what I'm saying, and they just having fun doing it, you know what I'm saying, living in the present moment and just giving their thoughts on things. So definitely be sure to check that out. And check out my boy Yoda's music on iTunes, wherever you can get stuff from, you know what I'm saying. Like, Yoda's got some work coming out soon. Be sure to check that out. You know what I'm saying. Check out DJ AJ. You can listen to AJ's works on iTunes, AJ Behind the Boards. Yeah, so like I said before, appreciate you guys for always, you know what I'm saying, tuning in, checking out the show, leaving your comments. So whether it's sending text messages or giving phone calls, for those that actually do know, you know what I'm saying, like know me personally or whatever, I got the number, and just leaving your thoughts on the show, and taking time to leave your thoughts on the show as well. Definitely got more content coming, but just wanted to take time to say I appreciate you guys. Be sure to share the show, and let's check it out.
This whole time, and now that I'm being myself, like, sometimes it's hard. It's really nerve-wracking. And then I want to keep to myself, and then I want to answer my phone. I don't know, I get in the moods, but I'm getting used to it. I'm getting, it's nice. Like, once I go out my comfort zone and I relax and stuff, I'm like, okay, yeah, I did that. Like, I'm being me right now. And then I start thinking about them. So before, that wasn't me.
Yep. Learn to be authentic you.
I was just literally surviving.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is that she's black, and the original player that did it was white. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, it's just something that it's unmentioned. It's like a underlying rule that we have to carry ourselves a certain way. do you think black and white athletes are treated differently when they do the same thing? I mean, let's call it spade a spade, all right? So it's presentation as far as like how we appear. There is this fear of a black planet, you know what I mean, by some people in the world. I would say, namely white supremacy, you know what I mean? Like those folks that have like a certain ideology that puts them in fear as if we are looked at as animals, as black people, you know what I'm saying? Or people of color for that matter, you know what I mean? Just looked at as like caged animals. So whenever the animal does something outside of what the owner, the master, wants them to do, you have to get them back in line. You know what I mean? Even if it's doing the same thing as the harmless looking individual does. You know what I mean? Like it's just systematic racism is what you want to call it. Systematic racism. Because, you know, us as black people, we deal with it all the time, really. You know, like again, just doing one thing, that's one case. Especially like from a football standpoint, as Shannon Sharp, you know, put it out there really good. It's like there are a lot of trash talkers in the NFL. You know, some of them happen to be black, and some of them happen to be white. But you commonly hear about the black trash talkers more so than the white ones. You know what I'm saying? And it's very interesting how that dynamic goes. And again, it's like what's harmless and what's considered to be, like, I believe, animalistic. And we are perceived as that. We were perceived as like beasts. We were perceived as, you know, we were bred to do work. You know what I mean? Like if you think about the NFL draft and like how it is, the original draft came from slavery. This one's too tall, he can lift this and all this other shit. Lining up people, trying to figure out if they can lift this, you know what I'm saying? They're fast enough to move all this shit. All of that started in slavery, you know what I'm saying? So it's like still feeling like you're 3/5 of a man, you know what I'm saying? Like the Missouri Compromise, you know, states and shit. Yeah, and fact check me on that. It very well could be another compromise, but I believe it's the Missouri Compromise. But you know, nevertheless, you get what the fuck I'm talking about. It's just like looked at as if you're an animal, you know what I mean, versus an actual person. Because you in fear of me, you know what I mean? You want to try to keep me in line with what I do as a black person. You know, even though your white counterpart can very well do the same thing. Now, this is not against, it's not something against all white people or anything like that. Don't let that be misconstrued. But understand, this is the world that we fucking live in America. Maybe in the world, I don't know how it is in the fucking world. I only live in fucking America. But living in America, when you are black, you must conduct yourself a certain way to not appear offensive. Otherwise, you're going to be looked at as the bitter black woman at the job, the aggressive black man, you know what I mean? Like, these things happen. Now, our white counterparts, they can lose their shit, they can throw tantrums, they can have, you know what I'm saying, all kind of fallouts and all that shit. But I'll be damned if we are to do the same thing, how we're going to be perceived. We're going to, there's just going to be this feeling at the office like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, for those of us that have gone through it, we've seen it countless number of times. But saying all that to say, this whole thing with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, shout out to LSU for coming away with that. Kim Mulkey, legend in NBA. You know, I have to say NBA, legend in women's basketball. You know what I'm saying? Louisiana Tech. Was able to pull away, and what she did for Baylor, you know what I mean? And then being able to pull away and get the NCAA, championship, national championship is a thing of beauty. And just recognizing those ladies for what they do, because obviously, you know, women don't really get that much press when it comes to sports, namely because it's not entertaining. Sorry to say, but that's the truth of the matter. I mean, even women don't watch the shit. But nevertheless, that does not mean that they did not earn the right to be spoken about. You know what I mean? They play their hardest, they play their damnedest, and it's solid. But overall, it's just, you know, for most of America, it doesn't have entertainment selling value. because they play basketball the way basketball's supposed to be played. You know what I'm saying? They get back on defense. They you know what I'm saying? Their layups, shit like that. But it's not entertaining. You know what I'm saying? It's like watching college wrestling versus, you know, WWE shit. Yeah, college wrestling is great. You're doing it the wrestling way from, you know, the ancient Greeks and all that other shit. But you ain't throwing nobody through a damn table. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be something entertainment. You know, it's gotta be entertainment value. But anyway, for, like I said, point of what I'm trying to make is that shout out to LSU for winning the national championship. Those ladies worked their asses off. And shout out to Iowa as well for getting there. Caitlin Clark she's a monster. You know what I'm saying? She's a monster out there. The way she plays the game, I'm pretty sure she'll make WNBA, and maybe that'll be something that will draw attention. You know what I'm saying? More entertainment value and all that stuff. But the difference, truthfully, yes, because you know, Angel Reese is unapologetically black. Yes, she's unapologetically black. So there's certain things that make people uncomfortable when you are unapologetically black. You know, as far as like how you carry yourself and, you know, the things of what you say and what you do and all that. But I think it's much to do about nothing. It's literally a fucking hand gesture from John Cena. If anybody's to blame right now, we should be blaming John Cena for this shit. It's just his fault. Had he not done the dumbass "you can't see me," the white child wouldn't have done the shit, and the black child wouldn't have done it in, you know, retaliation or whatever. You know what I mean? But in all seriousness, it must to do about nothing. Why? I don't. It's our society, but it's like it's a small gesture, but the response to it is where the systematic racism comes in, because it's classless. When the black athlete does the shit, as to where the white one does it, it's like, you know, she's, I don't know, it's encouraged, if you will. And like, it's literally the same fucking thing. So why are we making a mountain out of a molehill? You know what I mean? And let's let it be. They play sports, they talk shit, trash talking comes with it sometimes. You know, I guess women, women do trash talk on the court. Like I said, I don't watch enough women's basketball to even say, you know, whether or not they trash talk for sure and all that stuff. But Cheryl Miller was known for being a trash talker. She's one of the greatest. She by far is the best women's basketball player ever. If you don't know about Cheryl Miller, that's Reggie Miller's sister, Indiana Pacers player, great. You know what I mean? His sister. Phenomenal. Probably, you know, could have played in the NBA. That's how great she was, you know, and to give that woman her just due. But the difference, you know, again, it's just like looking at us as, you look at us differently, because we might come off a little bit more aggressive. You just naturally feel our energy. You know what I mean? And some are intimidated by that. You know what I mean? And that's not for us as black people to kind of make ourselves small so that others can become big. We gotta stand in our shit. And I commend that young lady for saying that this is who I am, this is what I'm going to say, this is what I'm going to do. You know, and I think it's great for other little girls that look just like her, to be able to say, you know what, yes, I can do it even at that collegiate level, just like that. As far as the trash talking goes, I mean, who's gonna remember this shit 2 weeks from now? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally our society today. We get bent up out of shape about things in one day, and then 3 days later, there's so much news that is passed on in that time frame. We're not gonna remember this shit. You know what I'm saying? But the biggest thing to take from it is the fact that there are certain things that that white folk could do that black folk are not able to do, or maybe people of color. And that's that whole privilege thing, you know what I'm saying, that some white people like to deny. And, you know, it's there. Then again, everybody has a privilege of some sort, you know what I'm saying, to some degree, based off of an insecurity that goes on in the world. And it's not these people's fault. It's more about just what has happened in the past. The way things that have happened in the past have transpired the way things are done in present day, which is then given privilege. You know what I mean? Is it right? No. It's not about right. It's literally what's acceptable in society. And apparently it's all right for, like a white kid, white young lady to do this thing. And then there's the black young lady who does the very same shit, and actually wins the national championship. And when she does it, it's classless. It's the same shit. It's literally the same shit. And like I said, it's much to do about nothing. I believe that the hand gesture it is. Now, the response behind the hand gesture is the biggest issue that we have. Why is it that, as far as society, because if you care what society thinks, this is going to be an issue. But if you don't give a damn and you just accept our world for what it is, then much to do about nothing. You're not going to change people. They're going to think what they want to think. I mean, Larry Bird talks shit. He never got chastised. You know what I'm saying? They talk Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan gets a bad rap for talking shit. Charles Barkley gets a bad rap for talking shit. Draymond Green, you know what I mean? All these guys get reps for talking shit. Grayson Allen, I don't hear shit about him. You know what I mean? Grayson Allen talks a lot of shit. You know what I mean? If you look up, just look up Grayson Allen from Duke. Talked a lot of shit. He does not get the same press that the black players tend to get, and I truly believe, on my own standpoint, my own perspective, that this is just a way of keeping us in line. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate because slavery was, from a historical standpoint, not that long ago, but we've had a lot of things that have transpired that you would think, without, like I said, no assumptions, but you would think that we would be past this shit by now. There's so much life to go around. I do not have to hate on the fact that you are black or you are white, Latin, Asian, green, whatever the fuck colors are around, you know what I'm saying? Like, just allow people to be people and do what the fuck they want to do. You know what I mean? If we're trash talking, we're trash talking. Let it be. But like to treat this, like I said, to treat this young lady a certain way because, the only difference is that she's black and the original player that did it was white. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, it's just something that it's unmentioned. It's like a underlying rule that we have to carry ourselves a certain way. You know what I mean? We have to fall in line and all that stuff. I mean, it happens at the job. Like I said, it happens at the job, being black, and I'm sure other, my black counterparts know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, there's certain ways you have to carry yourself that you're not that your white counterparts might be able to do. And go even further, even white women have to deal with this shit too. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, they're not able to carry themselves the way that a white man might be able to carry himself at the job. And it's unfortunate, but these are these old, prehistoric rules that go on that doesn't allow again, for us to act classless, you know what I mean? But if this particular group of people does it, then there's reprimand behind it. I'm saying that if it's wrong, then it's wrong, regardless of who the fuck does it. So, wrong is wrong, right is right. Let's not play, let's not play the favorites, you know what I'm saying? Let's call a spade, and leave them damn girls alone, let them play basketball and let them go on and do great things with their future, maybe WNBA, whatever they're studying for in college. Once again, shout out to LSU in Iowa. Ladies, women's basketball, you know what I'm saying, for putting on a great show, showing great effort, showing that women can work together and achieve a goal. And that's really all I got on that. Self-sabotage. All right, so self-sabotage starts with the mind, right? For me. And it is when you take in all the voices that you didn't even put there in your mind, because you would never tell yourself this. If you were another person talking to yourself, you would never tell yourself the shit that you tell yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it starts there. So from that point on, you start to have this almost like self-hatred. And because of self-hatred, you're going to make sure that what you're telling yourself remains true. So you're going to do everything to make sure that that statement in your mind, that belief of yourself remains true by doing various things that are not productive for you. If you have an addiction, you're going to escape. You're going to escape, hands down, into your addiction. You're going to stay with it, and you're never going to let that go. You're just hell bent. You're attached to this feeling. It is a feeling of release. It is a feeling of escape. However, it is tearing you down in more ways than one. And one is willing to admit to themselves initially, you know what I'm saying? But after a while, once you realize what the addiction does to you, and then as far as like how you tend to treat the people around you, and then the impact that it has on them, maybe even your family, what addiction can do. You don't know, because you're so caught up in pain. And like when you're so consumed by pain in the mind, you don't see things the way that you do when you're, outside of your pain body. You know what I'm saying? When you're not living in love, you know what I mean? You're living in pain or fear, you know what I mean? So the way that I would see shit, is like the world's against me. The ego is just talking loud as ever. The parasite in your mind is just running the show, and some things that the pain that you took on from somebody else who also was in pain, that projected that onto you, you've held on to that poison, and then you get succumbed by it. And because of that, you've taught yourself mentally that you are not worthy of any form of affection or love, you know what I mean? So you'll do whatever it takes to prevent that from happening, you know what I mean? You're going to sabotage yourself in one way or another. You're going to sabotage relationships. You're going to sabotage things going well for yourself, because you have trained your mind. Life has, you've interpreted life a certain way that has you thinking that you are not worthy of any form of love, affection, and no matter how great it might feel, it could be very uncomfortable too, to get a feeling of love that you've never had before. You know what I mean? And like I say, coming from my background, my family uses, we tear each other down to show our love for one another, if that makes any sense to you. You know what I'm saying? It's just what we do. But if anybody were to say like something great about the other person, it would be met with fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not able to share, like I'll say, loving things towards one another in affectionate ways. Like if you were to talk shit, like we know what it's like for people to point out us doing shit wrong. You know what I mean? And we're well versed at it too. We can point out something wrong. There could be something perfect in a room, and we'll find something bad about it to talk about it, just so motherfucker can't get shit on us, unfortunately. But it's that, again, I think that deep-rooted self-sabotage that's been going on for generations, you know what I'm saying? It just keeps passing on, and it goes throughout the world, you know what I mean? But we also have the ability to overcome that shit. But you got to separate yourself from the negative energy. You know what I mean? It's very interesting what it's like to pull yourself away from something for a while and realize how much peace you might have, and like allowing your mind to heal, because the body's going to heal itself. You know what I'm saying? Once you give it time, you have to unplug though. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to get away from your particular environment, move on to something new, and then you're able to see that change, and you actually like that change. So when you go back around, you know what I'm saying, like that negative energy, it's like, yo, I don't like the way this shit feel, and I want to I want to be in something healthier. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you really got to remove yourself from certain things. You even got to remove yourself from yourself, for that matter. As far as like how you talk to yourself, you have to change the voice in your head and recognize what you're saying to yourself, because you're going to believe whatever you tell you. The brain has a way of talking to itself, so whatever the brain says, you're going to believe it. So you got to be really, really mindful of the thoughts that go through your fucking head, or again, those mental health issues that come into play. And we just feel like we're trapped in so much pain, and then we want to project that pain out in order to we're making ourselves feel better. We're just making ourselves feel worse. But that's what I'm saying, like that self-sabotage shit is real deal. because you can sit alone with your thoughts, and I mean it's a gift and a curse to be alone with your thoughts, because you get to know how you feel, the way you think about shit. And then there's also that time where all the negative things that have ever happened to your life, you start to hone all that shit in, and you just take it, you believe it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? You're interpreting this, you're assuming that's what this was. You're based off your interpretation of a particular action. You know what I'm saying? And you have to really be conscious enough. You have to really be cognizant of what you're telling yourself in your mind, because that's where it all, I mean, you literally could be thinking you're the worst person in the world, and other people they just love you. You know what I'm saying? They just love being around you. But for whatever reason, we're so hard on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We could be overly critical, but that was taught. That was something that was taught to us. We were taught to be overly critical of ourselves, maybe by perfectionist parents, maybe by narcissistic parenting, maybe by just, a family that just was not, that did not know how to, do things in a healthy way. And we got to forgive them for what they didn't know. We got to forgive ourselves for what we didn't know. But, self-sabotaging is, I found myself doing that quite often. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it was just like being lost in the world of people pleasing. And you got to remember that when you're trying to please people that are in their own pain, they very well may just project their own pain onto you, especially if they see good in you. And the more that you keep trying to do better and trying to please them, like say for instance, like with parents or your family or whatever, and you just trying your best to show that you're the biggest thing or whatever. Like your ego just gets, you're doing it. You believe you're doing it for the right reasons, but your ego is like getting in the way. But your ego and you operating at your best can irritate, the parasite in other people. So when that happens, they start to develop, they can get envious. They very well can be jealous of certain things. And that has nothing to do with you. But when when you look at people as like your gods or whatever, everything they say goes, you'll take their word over anything else. It could be 100 people telling you how dope you are, how beautiful you are. Let that family member that you want that validation, or that person that you want validation from, tell you that you're no good. You will literally believe that one person over all those 100 people. You know what I mean? Because you value this person. You value this person as, a deciding factor, like they know better when they're just as human as you are. And, sometimes that's just how it be. But what you have to do is just be mindful of your thoughts, practice mindfulness, meditate as much as you can, separate, negative energy from positive energy. Monitor the fucks you give daily. Be mindful of your energy, of who you give that out to. And like I say, stay focused on your goals, man, and practice unconditional love for yourself. And then once you do that, that'll take care of how you deal with everybody else. What's one thing you love about where you live? I'll tell you about Jacksonville. I love that, at least from where I am right now, I'm in the middle of everything. Literally my sanctuary, the beach, well, one of my sanctuaries, of course, the other one is the gym. But my sanctuary of the beach is only 15 minutes away. It's the closest. Like growing up in Virginia and Suffolk, Virginia Beach is like, that's a hump. You know what I'm saying? That's 45 minutes of going, getting on 664, going to 64, trying to get out to the beach and fighting that, and then getting there to fight that beach traffic. Here, it's a hop, skip, and a jump to the motherfucking beach. And I love that. It's peaceful. Like I love South Beach. South Beach is home, like Miami and Homestead, Kendall, that's home. That's always gonna be home for me. But as well as I do, South Beach is popular. So South Beach keeps tourism running in Miami, you know what I mean? So it's like when you go to the beach, you never know what you're gonna see. For one, it very well be a riot. It might be, somebody tripping off of mushrooms, tripping off acid. cops chasing somebody. It's just, you never know. It's Russian roulette when it comes to South Beach. But here, it's peaceful, man. Like, no one really goes to the, as far as when I go, I mean, I have to take it back because a couple weeks ago, I tried to go to the damn beach and it was just people goddamn galore. But it's spring break. You know what I mean? I get it, spring break. But, I mean, selfishly, I wanted that damn beach, for my time, you know what I mean? And in most cases, when I go to the beach here, it's peaceful, it's quiet. They got families out there with their dogs. It's nice to people watch and, see people, with their families and all that. But, I just sit there with music, drinks, and books. And I block out the world and I'm able to regain clarity, regain consciousness, and clear thoughts. And so, I mean, that's one of the things I love about living here is the beach is like 15 minutes away. Another thing, Walmart, Target, Aldi, 5 minutes to all three of them. You know what I'm saying? Everything is literally right here, at least where I live right now. And whenever I need to get some, bam, it's there. But I mean, the city itself, I mean, there's parts of the city, that you don't go to. I think that's in anywhere, you know what I mean? But it's straight. I mean, it's not clubs galore like it is back home in Miami, but I mean, it's a lot of, it's a little kickback spots. I say that, it's like bars and shit. If I had the funds, you know what I mean? Like to kind of do those things quite often, sure. But, I got goals and things I want to do, ways of, adding my contribution to the world before I leave it, you know what I mean? So some things you're gonna have to sacrifice for a little bit. But I love, like I said, I love the gym. The gym is like, again, it's 10 minutes away. It's two gyms I can go to. There's one on base, and then there's, the one, LA Fitness, which is like 10 minutes away. And I like I said, it's just, for me, it's just peaceful. It is. It really is peaceful, man. I mean, I really do have, there's a lot of times I get caught in my head, especially recently, but I really do have a great life, man. I have to, again, not look at what I don't have, but focus on what I do have and put things back into, perspective for myself. But I love it here. I mean, my job is I do half of what I used to do. So I look at it more as very much of a blessing to come here based off of what I've done so much in my career, a lot of places where I did not have time to do things, and I'm presented more time for myself, number one. I think I spent a lot of years just doing for so many other fucking people, and I love that I'm conscious enough to make time for myself, regardless of how anyone feels about the shit. You lose a lot of people when you start doing things for yourself. You're gonna piss a lot of people off when you do things for you. And I pride myself on being able to do that, being able to let people go, because I used to be a clinger. I used to hang on to everything, whether it was positive or negative, for my life. And now I am, at a moment's notice. At a moment's notice, anything that I feel is not for me, like that energy, I have no problem letting that go. And, but, the city, we got outlets like 20 minutes south, I believe. Like it's a little bit, I think they're in, what is that? St. Augustine, I think it's St. Augustine. And not to mention, old St. Augustine, like the historic section. It's nice to go to sometimes. They got bars and shit, ghost tours, and we got the little castle cannons, release the cannons. And it's like I said, it's a chill place. Other places that I've lived in, this is slowly becoming one of the ones I prefer. Just off of peace and just trying to do things and do things in healthy ways as much as possible, because like I said, I ain't got it all together my damn self. But doing the best I can and trying to be very mindful, be peaceful, try to do things in a healthy way, at least as far as what I know right now. Very well can learn some shit later on. But it's it's a nice spot. It's nice. It's chill. Real relaxing. Got some nice seafood shit out here. Italian spots. One of my favorite spots is, I think it's off of San Jose. It's like a piano bar. They play, it's an Italian restaurant, but it's like a piano bar and shit. It's real dope. They take requests, and it's just, gives you that old feel, like you're just sitting at the bar and like, hey, play it, Sam, Casablanca type shit. But it's real relaxing. It's peaceful. More importantly, I damn sure wish the pools were working in the neighborhood sometimes better than what they are. But I mean, there's bigger fish to fry. But overall, like I said, I love it. I love it. I love living in Jacksonville. I've enjoyed the people that I've been able to meet out here. Extended, their families to, something like to me, and just the love that they shown. I'm grateful, just truly appreciative for it. It's just what's so crazy is getting to meeting other people from different areas, and you coming from being from Virginia, then like Miami, hanging out in Miami for a little while, then coming here, just realizing how much we all have in common as far as trauma and pain goes, and then just not sure if this person is going to hurt us or if we're in a healthy situation or a toxic situation. And it's like, once you have those conversations with people, you learn so much about yourself, and as well as them, learning them. And again, that fear, and like trusting that you're not going to be like the others type thing, traumas meeting traumas. But just like I said, just living in Jacksonville, meeting, like I said, different people, and then learning that, damn, they're in just as much pain as I am. They feel pain the same way that I do, type thing. But at the same time, you don't want to allow anyone to project their shit onto you. You got your own issues you got to deal with. But overall, man, Jacksonville's been great to me. Like I said, I love the area. I'm not exactly sure how long I'll be here based off of goals that I have set in life. But for now, it's becoming home. I can say that. Coming up, I'm close to, let's say, 2 years of being here, and I don't really have anything. I don't have anything bad to say about it. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna, take it for what it is, enjoy it, and keep it pushing. So Duval County, St. Johns County, whatever other counties are out here, I appreciate, I appreciate y'all accepting me and allowing it to be whole. What do you think reveals a lot about the person you're dating? Number one, I say, like, for me, patience, right? Princess attitudes. Like that shit might have been cute when I was like 19, 18. I didn't know any fucking better. I was like early 20s or something like that, and I just put women on a pedestal. But the whole thing to behave like you're more human than I am, that's a no-go. Now, like, we're at an age now where all we really want to get is just peace, right? And be treated as if we're human, and be valued. And so when I'm able to see, like, let's say like a young lady I'm dating or anything like that, is more so, one, how they treat me, two, how they treat themselves. That's very big, actually, because that's going to determine how she treats everybody else. But also how she treats everybody else, in her life, in restaurants, how you carry yourself, what I mean? How you treat people and, on the street, Like, do you come off as if you're, you're royalty and the peasants or what have you? Really, the patience. What's really big is the whole thing of projecting whatever you got going on onto others, like almost as if you're looking for a father, like to fix your shit. And it says a lot. Obviously it reveals a lot what needs to be worked at for someone who had issues, I would say mommy issues and daddy issues, You know what I mean? Like to be able to recognize these things what it means to me is that you probably should take more time focusing on you than anything else. You know what I mean? Because that's exactly what I feel the need to do whenever what I know to do rather, and ain't no feel in it. Like what I know to do when I find my mind drifting like such. If I'm doing like that, then I'm like, okay, cool. Then I definitely got to get on the ball and deal with myself. You know what I'm saying? That's not for me to project that onto anybody else. There's you know what I'm saying? You're not responsible for my insecurities, and I'm not responsible for yours. You know what I'm saying? So like, what else reveals a lot? The ability to deal with struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like dealing with your own struggles. That's very important. It's very key. You know, and in a sense that how are you going to deal when shit hits the fan? Do you crawl into a ball? Do you run? You know what I mean? Are you willing to just withstand certain things? You know what I mean? And like it shows a lot. You know, it's definitely like I'll say like the financial aspect too. The financial aspect of things, as far as like, are you about a lot of gifts? Do you allow me to pay for everything? And I do mean everything, like, you know, these little things, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you allowing a man, you know what I'm saying? Are you the type that just that prefers a simp who pays for practically everything? Or are you a young lady that sees that, you know, it's just, we're both going out. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that, you know, going Dutch or anything like that, but various times that we may step out, are you know what I'm saying? How often are you offering? Even if I don't even take it, you know what I mean? You know, but when are you offering to do so? I mean, it says a lot, you know what I'm saying, as far as like a person's character. And again, just very well what they may have been taught or not been taught, you know what I'm saying? And it's very appreciative to those women that be like, you know what, I got it this time, you know what I mean? Not on the strength of like, you ain't got it, but the fact that they know you got it, but they appreciate you, so they want to treat you. That says a lot about their character and what they've decided how they're going to live their life. And it's much appreciated, you know what I'm saying, for us men to see that, especially, you know, men that are on their purpose and recognizing that stuff, you know, as you're working towards your purpose, you're peeping out, you know, personalities and how they handle certain things, and do they try to, and that's another fucking thing, is do you try to make yourself the focus? You know what I'm saying? It's very, very big when it comes to dating, because this is it's different now. There was a point in my life where I did make a woman the focus, and that's when those women really lost interest, because I stopped taking care of myself. You know what I mean? Like everything was just about her and what she wanted, not so much my wants and anything like that. It's practically the male version of you know, the sister on Coming to America. You know what I mean? When she's like, whatever it is you like, and that shit. So now to recognize how valuable you are, not living by blue pill, you know what I'm saying, beta male standards, but by that of a red pill, you know, a masculine man. You know what I mean? So to see these things differently, it's eye-opening, especially like how women treat you, from when you used to behave like this to now that you behave like this. So that's one thing, you know, like, does she try to be the focus? Does she try to interject use her insecurities to get attention? Does she equate love to attention? That's very big too, you know, like women that do that. You know what I'm saying? When you can see that, recognize that within her character, and you just sit back and be like, oh, okay, cool. So once you don't get attention, then what's next? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't get the attention you want at the time, how do you behave? How are you going to conduct yourself? because it just seems like you can just go with the highest bidder. At that point, whoever's going to give you the most attention. That's the thing. When a man is on his purpose, he's not going to always be available. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want that guy. You might think you do. It sounds like a good idea, but you don't want a guy that's always available for you. You don't. He ain't working. If he's always available, what the fuck is he doing? Tell me, what is he doing with his life? You know what I mean? That is going to be productive and provide for the life that you apparently want to live. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that you like to do, but you get out of you get out of life what you put into it. So if you're going to exercise, your right to go after your goals and all these different things that are going to bring opportunity. I won't necessarily say happiness, bring opportunity for you, your family, your friends, and anybody that you mingle with. So it's like learning these things. I mean, learning a little late in age, but nevertheless, still having the knowledge, being equipped with it, and being able to push forward and heal. That's number one. Is she willing? Like, that's another thing about the individual that you're dating. Is she willing to heal? Does she recognize that she has issues? Is she going to, work on said issues? Or is she just like, this is me, take me as I'm is? You know what I mean? Or is how does she feel about therapy? It says a lot. You know what I mean? Is she judgmental? Does she have a closed mind? There are so many factors that go into that are pointed out when it comes to like dating and stuff now compared to when I was like 18 and 19, just trying to make sure I didn't fuck up anything. Now it's more like what type of woman has the personality to enter a masculine frame and trusting a man to lead. You know what I'm saying? Do you constantly challenge me? Do you try to mother me? You know what I mean? Because I've been with my mother, personality wise, and I don't. That's not something that I want. What that ends up doing is turning me into that blue pill beta male. You know what I'm saying? That is, it doesn't go well because you're gonna end up feminizing me, and you're gonna remain in your masculine. And it does not bode well. You feel not satisfied, and it just doesn't go well for either side. I'm gonna be miserable. It can go either way. You know what I'm saying? I could be the miserable one, and you could just be thriving off of what the fuck I'm doing in my misery. Or you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like miserable because I am not putting forth the effort of that potential that you had of me in your mind. There's so many things, like I said, so many factors with that. So what I do is, I peep game when it comes to like a woman, whether she's willing to enter, a worthy masculine frame. That's very key though for women. And I to say, you want us to be in our feminine, but you got to give us a frame to enter into. Very true. Very fucking true. And I wish women well, finding that that frame that they feel that they can trust enough to enter, and know that they can trust the man to lead. And damn it, I lead. Like I said, those are things that I tend to peep game on. You know what I mean? When it comes to like dating and and all that stuff. So I mean, it's very important to me. That is stand back, and it's just something that you observe quietly. You quietly observe and just sit back and just watch how an individual moves. You know what I'm saying? How they carry themselves. And some people have ways to go. No one's perfect by any means, but that doesn't mean that's your job to fix them. You're not there to fix anybody. She shouldn't be there to fix you either. And it's not that you don't work towards things, you know what I mean? But it's not your job to fix anyone. And once an individual decides that shows you who they are, believe them. And then you decide if that's for you. And if it's not, there's there's one thing of having chemistry, is another thing, compatibility. And then, there's other things about values. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have the same values. And so you very well may have sexual chemistry, but relationship-wise, that shit ain't gonna fly. And then some you have relationship, chemistry, but sexually it's just, well, for those of us that have been dating a lot longer than we've been married, probably some of us never been married, but when you're able to peep these things out, it teaches you a lot. I mean, you can learn a lot from people that are single, as far as like learning what you want, what you don't want, and that's the beauty of dating, is realizing what you want and what you don't fucking want, and what is suitable for. What woman is would be suitable for something long term, if indeed when you're ready for that type of shit, and who's willing to enter that frame. So it's very, like I said, it's very key. That's very, like I said, it's very key. A lot of things that are pointed out to me in the manosphere about these things when it comes to dating women. So these are things that I just keep in mind. But I'll tell you what, it's been great learning these things and applying them to myself going forward. But nevertheless, that is, that's my thought on that shit.